Namaste everybody, and thank you for joining me in this yin class. This class is part 3 of my Elemental Yin series, in which we explore the elements from the perspective of traditional Chinese medicine and their associated meridians. So today we are working with the element of fire, and the associated meridians are the heart, the small intestine, pericardium, and triple energizer. All of these meridians are located on the arms, with the heart originating from the armpits and pericardium on the chest and moving out towards the fingers, and the small intestine and triple energizer starting on the last 2 fingers, working up the back of the arm, onto the shoulder blades and up onto the face. So we will be working with our arms and some heart openers, really opening the heart in all directions, so across the front as well as the back. So the qualities related to the fire element are that of an upward rising of energy. There's an increase in yang energy, and so there's heat, expression, enthusiasm, joy, and as the fire element is connected to the heart, there's also feelings of love and compassion. So today we will be working with uncovering our joy. So we'll start in a comfortable seated position just to center ourselves. So you can raise your hips up on a blanket or a block if this is more comfortable. Just resting your hands on your knees or in your lap and closing your eyes for a moment. Allowing yourself to come fully into your body and into the practice. Rooting down through the sitting bones and reaching up through the crown of the head, creating a nice long spine, creating space in between the vertebrae. Really feeling into this energy of rooting down and at the same time lifting up. And allow your awareness to drop into this space of presence within. This natural, peaceful, still state. So letting go of any thoughts of the day, anything that's already happened, and anything that's yet to happen. So letting any plans, any concerns, just melt away and come into this space of deep calm within. You can focus on the breath, using your breath as a tool to access this space. Just take a moment to acknowledge this space as your natural state. And also to recognize that joy is also your natural state. So joy originates from the core of our being. It is our very essence, and it radiates out into the world through us. It does not depend on any external means. Sometimes we obscure this joy by creating layers of baggage over it. And this is commonly connected to our likes and dislikes, the actions originating from these, and the expectations of the results of our actions. And this does not mean to say that we cannot have desires and dreams, but if we cultivate an attitude of non-attachment to the results, if we can cultivate more equanimity and acceptance that sometimes things don't turn out the way that we thought that they might, and that sometimes things appear negative, but in fact this may just be a gateway or something creating space for something more positive to come in. If we can accept this and cultivate this attitude of non-attachment, then we uncover our natural joy within. And on that note, we will move into our practice. So we'll start standing up. So just moving to that space in whichever way feels most natural. And allowing the feet to be hip distance and the knees slightly bent. Just taking a moment to feel into all sides of the feet, all corners, and creating that nice solid foundation. Knees micro-bent, pelvis neutral, and shoulders relaxed. We'll start with about 10 rounds of the breath of joy. So this breath is really great for just letting anything go. So anything that could be obscuring this natural state of joy, just let it go. So this could be any worries, concerns, expectations, things that are stressing you out right now. So I'll just show you how the breath goes and then we'll all do it together. So it's a 3-part inhale and 1 exhale. So you go inhale, arms up, inhale, arms to the side, inhale, arms up, and exhale out through the mouth, and you take your body down and arms behind you. So that's 1 round, and you can really, with the exhale, let the breath out, let a sound out. Just let it all go. So we'll start in, out. I forgot how many we did, so we'll do 1 more. Just allow yourself to dangle here. Just for a moment, allow your arms to swing and slowly come to a stop. And gently curl back up to a standing position and observe the sensations within the body, within the mind. Maybe a tingling or pulsation in the arms, in the rest of your body. Maybe a sense of clarity, freedom in your mind. We'll come into our first yin posture, which will be a dangle with eagle arms. So we'll inhale and take our arms up overhead. And exhale, bring them out to the sides and down in front, crossing right arm underneath the left at the elbows, bringing the forearms together, and then aiming to bring the hands, the palms together. If this isn't not available for you, you can just take a hold of the fingers, or maybe even just hug yourself if you're really tight in the shoulders. So once you've found your eagle arms, we'll slowly curl down. Your feet should be hip distance at least, maybe even a little wider, and bring a bend into the knees. If it's more comfortable, you can bring a bolster between the thighs and the belly. And then just allow yourself to completely relax in this position. We're here for 2.5 minutes. Just checking in with the body and making sure you're not holding on to any unnecessary tension. Just allowing the little fingers to drop down towards the ground. Releasing the neck. The shoulders, the upper back. Bringing a stretch into the small intestine and the triple energizer meridians here, and the back of the heart center. Using the breath as an anchor into the present moment. Allowing yourself this time to just be with the body. Be with the sensations and the breath. We'll take one more inhale here. And exhale it out. Very slowly release the bind of your arms first. And then curl up into a standing position. Maybe with the help of your hands, resting and walking up your legs. Coming into a rebound Tadasana, eyes closed, observing everything that happens within, whether it be on the physical, emotional, or mental level. We'll move on to the other side. So taking the arms up above the head, and then bring them out to the sides. Cross them in front of you at the elbows, left under right. And then bring the forearms together and aim to meet the palms. If this isn't available, taking hold of one of the fingers or having that hug position. And then we'll curl down again, coming into this dangle. Again, you can have a bolster between your belly and the thighs if this is more comfortable, and a bend in the knees. We're here for 2.5 minutes. Again, just taking a moment to scan through the body, scanning for any tension you may be holding onto in the arms, the elbows, the neck or the face. Allowing your upper body to just hang and melt down towards the ground. Allowing your hands to be heavy. Your elbows to be heavy. Allowing your shoulder blades to dissolve down the sides, creating space in between them, and opening up the back of your heart center. Take one last breath here. Slowly release the bind of the arms first, and this time we'll sit down. So bending into the knees, we'll take the hands in front and move into a kneeling position. So coming onto the knees, just allowing the body to be upright. And we'll take our rebound here. Allowing the arms to hang heavy at your sides. And observing any sensations within them. And the space around your heart and your shoulders. Staying with your breath. Move into our next position. So we'll come into a child's pose. It's quite nice to bring a blanket beneath the knees here, bringing the knees nice and wide. They don't have to be too wide. And then just allow your body to sink down in between the legs. There's an option to bring a blanket between the thighs and the calves if this is more comfortable, or a bolster beneath the torso also. And we're just setting up here, so we'll stretch the fingertips forwards and then we'll walk the hands over to the right side as far as they can go. Finding a nice stretch in the left side of the body. We're here for 3 minutes. Really stretching into the 2 meridians running down the outside of the arm. Also into the heart meridian, initiating in the armpits. At any point your mind wanders, and gently bringing it back to the present moment, back to your breath, and back to the sensations within your body. Relishing in the expansion of the left rib cage on your inhales. Feeling into that space that is created. We'll take one last breath in this position. And slowly moving back to center. We'll just take a few breaths here in this neutral position. And then walk the hands all the way over to the left. creating that nice opening of the right side of the body. We're here for 3 minutes. If you find your mind wandering again, gently bringing it back to the present moment. Back to the breath and that expansion of the right rib cage, the stretching of the intercostal muscles. Take one last breath in this position. And then slowly walking the hands back to center. We'll take a few breaths here. Neutralizing the spine. We'll move into our next position, which will be melting heart. So coming up into a tabletop position, stacking the knees beneath the hips. Now we'll walk the hands forward, coming down onto elbows and either resting the forehead, or if you're more open in the back and the chest, then bringing the chin to the ground. And there's an option here to bring a bolster beneath the chest. Or even if you want more opening in the arms, you can bring your hands up onto a bolster, increasing that stretch into the fronts of the armpits. And we're here for 4 minutes. allowing yourself to completely relax in this position. So maybe just conducting a little inventory inside. Noticing whether you're holding on to any tension somewhere where you could just release it. Keeping the facial muscles and the jaw soft. Releasing the shoulders, the chest. Allowing fingers and toes to be relaxed. Allow yourself to sink into this position. Allow gravity to sink your chest down towards the ground. It's a really good position for stretching into the heart meridian. Pericardium. If at any point it gets too much, then of course you can back out. Either coming to rest in child's pose or just taking a lesser extreme version of the posture. We'll take one last deep breath in this position. And slowly walking the hands in towards the body. Removing any bolsters if you had any. And then releasing yourself down into a rebound crocodile. Either taking the hands into a little pillow in front of you to rest your head, or bringing the arms down by the sides. Staying present with any sensations here. Remaining aware of the mind and any emotions that may come up. Any internal dialogue. to the next position, which will be open wings. So we'll start by bringing the right arm out to the side like a T position, half T. And then taking the left hand in front of the face and using it to roll yourself over onto your right side. You can bend into the knees here. Maybe lift that left knee up to the sky, placing the sole of the foot on the ground. Maybe even lifting up the other knee. And you can always place a couple of bolsters or blankets underneath to help keep yourself up in that position. We're here for 3 minutes. If this isn't enough sensation for you, there's also the option to cactus that right arm. This should definitely increase the sensation. Using awareness of your breath and of your physical sensations as a means to stay present in your practice. And when thoughts and emotions arise, just acknowledge their presence and let them go without becoming entangled within them. Also not trying to push them away, just accepting them as impermanent phenomena that come and go. Take one last deep breath. Very slowly rolling yourself back onto your belly, bringing the hands down beside you and turning to look in the opposite direction, coming into our rebounds. Noticing the changes in sensation. The nature of the mind. simply observing what it means to be you right now. Slowly we'll make our way onto the other side. So taking the left arm out into that T shape, or if you took the cactus position in the previous side, then taking that option. And with the right hand in front of the face, just push yourself onto your left side and then bend into the knees. Taking the right knee up towards the sky, sole of the foot on the ground. Maybe that left knee also comes up. Maybe placing some bolsters beneath. Finding that position where you feel a nice opening in the chest. And we're here for 3 minutes. Continuously bringing yourself back into the present moment. If you find yourself wondering, stay with your breath, stay with the sensation. We'll take one last deep breath in this position. And slowly rolling onto your belly. Changing the direction of your head and taking your arms down by your sides for your rebound. These rebounds are so beneficial, allowing the benefits of the posture to be absorbed into the body, allowing the phase change of the connective tissue to occur, literally dissolving all these old holding patterns that we have, these chronic tensions, literally melt away. We'll move into our next position, which will be supported fish. So taking the hands either side of the chest and slowly pushing up into a kneeling position. We'll take either a block or a bolster or rolled up blankets, whatever you have, about a third of the way down your mat. And then just taking yourself onto your back and laying over the bolster so that it comes at around the level of the bra line, so the ends of the shoulder blades, the back of the heart center. Just allowing yourself to curl over it, opening up the front of the heart, extending the legs long, maybe even bringing the arms up overhead if that's comfortable. So adjusting yourself as necessary, raising your heart as much as feels comfortable, and where you feel an opening occurring. And we're here for 5 minutes. Taking this time and space to reflect on when you feel most joyful. What is it in this life, or when do you feel most connected to these feelings of joy within? When do you feel so joyful that you are truly present, truly in the moment and engaged in what you're doing? Taking this opportunity to create an intention to invite more of this into your life. To water the relationships around you that help you to connect with this natural, joyful state within. To engage in the activities that help you to feel most connected to this feeling of joy. We'll take one last deep breath in this position. And slowly releasing ourselves from the posture by bringing the soles of the feet to the ground. Rolling over onto one side. Removing any bolster or block beneath you, and then rolling back onto your back, extending the legs long and coming into a rebound shavasana. Remaining in presence. Using your breath as a tool, as an anchor into this reality, into this moment. Move into our final posture, which will be twisted roots. So taking the soles of the feet to the ground, about hip distance, and just pressing into the feet, lifting the hips a couple of inches and sliding them over to the right a couple of inches. Taking the right leg over the left, and if it's available for you, tucking the toes beneath the left calf. And just allow those legs to drop over to the left. Now arms can either be in a cactus position, or I encourage you to bring the fingers to below the head, encouraging a more intense opening of the chest, the right side of the chest. There's an option to bring a bolster or a block or a blanket beneath the knees. And you can look over to the right. We're here for 3 minutes. Maybe just using this time and space now in this position to reflect on anything that may be obscuring your joy. Is there anything that you can let go of? Maybe a thought pattern, something in your life that no longer serves you, whether this be a physical, emotional or mental habit, something that you've carried with you that no longer serves you. An expectation or an attachment, perhaps. Can you let this go and just accept reality as it is? Seeing the beauty in every moment, in every experience. Acknowledging that we are here to experience a human life and its full range of emotions. Taking one last breath on this side. Slowly, maybe with the help of the hands, bringing the knees to a central position. Taking the right leg off from the left, both soles of the feet to the ground, and just lifting the hips to realign them. And pausing here in this neutral position, maybe allowing the knees to fall into the center. Taking a short rebound here before we move on to the other side. Onto the other side. So pushing into your feet to lift your hips slightly and glide them over to the left a couple of inches and place them down. Taking the left leg on top of the right, maybe taking the bind, tucking the toes behind the calf, and allow your knees to come over to the right side. Again, your hands can either be in a cactus position or bringing the fingers below the back of the head to find an opening in the left chest. Again, option to prop the knees with a blanket. We're here for 3 minutes. if your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the present, back to breath, back to sensation, back to our reflections. What is it that obscures your joy? How can you let these patterns, these habits, expectations and attachments, how can you let them go and allow yourself more freedom, more access to your natural state of joy? Take one last deep breath in this position. And slowly ease your knees up to the sky, unraveling the legs, pressing the soles of the feet into the ground, and realigning the hips and the spine. Just for a moment, allowing yourself a rebound here with the knees bent, allowing the knees to rest in towards each other, and staying present. We'll move into our final Shavasana. So taking the feet as wide as the mat, legs down on the mat, toes falling out to the sides, backs of the hands resting on the mat, beside your body. Your neck, spine and hips aligned. And releasing any control over the breath, over the mind. Allowing yourself to drift to wherever you want to go. I will leave you here in your Shavasana. I encourage you to take at least a few minutes, longer if you can, to stay in this state of pure relaxation. And I also encourage an exercise after this practice to maybe journal a couple of the last reflections that we did. So maybe making a list of the things or the people who bring you the most joy, and another list to the things that obscure your joy. And maybe setting an intention to invite more of your joy-inspiring activities into your life, and to let go of the things that obscure your joy. Thank you for coming and sharing your practice with me. Namaste.